Thank you. Um, Carlo, great to see you again. I'm Julie from Suspenders and Button.
Good to see you. How are you?
Great. So excited to talk about your new movie. So, what makes A Season to Bloom the perfect Hallmark movie for a spring weekend premiere?
It's right there in the title. It's got the blooming, so it's got the beautiful backdrop of apple blossoms and other blossoms. Um, but like most Hallmark movies, or the ones, the reason we keep coming back, it's got uh, a lot of hope, and it's got those feel good moments, and it's just going to make you feel good for 2 hours. So I think that's the reason people are going to want to watch it. That's the reason I wanted to watch it.
That's why people tune in.
Okay, this is Eric Rutan from Hallmark Mysteries and More. How you doing today,
Hey
Carlo?
Eric, how are you?
I am great. It's April Fool's. I don't know if anyone's played any jokes on you or if you've played any.
Not
Uh,
yet, not yet. But the day is young. Wow.
You
all
can't
right.
give us any
Well,
fake answers because we're airing this not on
Not
April
on April
Fools.
Fool's, right?
Yeah.
So it'll just make it seem like I'm okay, crazy.
right. So some people, are all the known as like the Christmas Hallmark Christmas actor and stuff, but you're kind of becoming now the Hallmark Spring one. You got the blessing bracelet under your belt, and now you have this one. So when did you film this movie?
We filmed this in December, so
Okay.
not spring at
Right. So
all.
here you are. Normally you're like wearing a parka trying to pretend it's cold. So in this one, being filming it in the winter, trying to pretend it's all nice and spring, was that
Yeah, yeah,
like were you
exactly.
walking around just freezing your butt off and trying to be all warm and everything a little bit different there?
It was a little bit of that, but we kind of got smiled on because a couple days it was really important for filming. The sun came out and it felt like an early spring day, and we shot this in Vancouver, outside of Vancouver, and sometimes, early spring can feel the same temperature as early December. There's not much difference there, so it kind of worked out. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I'm Rachel from Hallmarkies, and
Hi,
there's
Rachel.
a very extended scene in a big rainstorm
Yes.
in this movie, and so I was just curious about that. What went into the filming and the rain and all of that?
Um, okay. Now you're bringing me back. Um, that was my very first scene, I think, if it's the one you're thinking of. There's one where I'm
You're
in
in the
my.
car, and
Yes,
then you get out of the
exactly.
car.
That was my very first scene. So I kind of met, I met Emily, who plays Elise. We took some pictures, and then I went outside, and Terry, who I've worked with a lot before, the director, he's like, "All right, we're turning the fans on, and we're turning the hoses on, and we're we're gonna get wet." And I didn't really expect, because I thought it was, a spring movie, but
Yeah,
they went for it. They drenched
yeah.
me, and it was I can't remember what time of night it was, but it was like 8, 9 o'clock at night, so it was cold out, and I'm just wearing a leather jacket. So yeah, that was kind of a rude awakening and a welcome to the production. At my very
Yeah.
first scene, I was soaking wet and freezing, but then I got to go home right after that, so that
Oh,
was
that's
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hi, Carlo. My name's Megan from Girls Gone Hallmark. Thank you so much for meeting with us this afternoon.
you're welcome.
I'd like to talk a little bit about the character of Max in A Season to Blossom. And if you can tell me just a little bit about him. I've seen the movie, but we'd love to hear your take on him and what aspects of his character drew you to him.
What Max is, he's an apple farmer, and he's kind of comes from a long line of apple farmers, so it's in his blood. It's his family business, but he's wanting to branch out. So he's got this desire to expand into cider, um, and I think that's kind of one of the things that drew me to him is that that idea of holding on to your lineage and kind of what you grew up in and what your family does, while at the same time making it your own and kind of going out into the world on your own. And I really relate to that. I grew up in a community theater, so acting and performing was kind of in my DNA. But then um, I took it a step further, and now I do it, out in the big wide world. So I kind of, yeah, there's some parallels between Max and myself there.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Hi, Carlo. This is Catherine with Rom-Com Love Podcast.
Hi, Catherine.
Hi, nice to meet you. So you mentioned that you've worked with Terry Ingram quite a bit, and he is,
Yes.
of course, beloved in the Hallmark universe. What's one of your favorite things about working with him and something you admire from him in the directing standpoint?
Um, sorry, say it again. Something
Oh,
that
something that you admire from
that I
him in
admire
the
about him.
directing as a director, but then also working with him. Favorite thing.
Um, I admire, yeah, Terry, man, he has done. I think this movie was his 51st Hallmark movie. And that's not even counting all the episodics he did. So he did a lot of Chesapeake Shores. I think that's where I first met him. And then we did another one before, together. But what I admire about Terry is his, maybe because he's done so many, he's very professional, but he has a light touch. So he maintains this levity on set, because at the end of the day we're just playing. So he reminds everybody of that. And I admire the history he has. He came up in Toronto theater. So I like hearing about stories from the old days of Toronto theater and early TV shows filmed there. So he's just got a lot. He's one of those guys that's got a lot of knowledge about the business, and I love stories like that. I love showbiz stories, and so yeah, I really appreciate being around him for that. And he knows how to make his day, as they say in the business. So he's good at getting it done and making sure he's got everything he needs without shooting anything he doesn't need.
Well, I have to say, a few of us here have had the opportunity to meet him in person, and his stories are just awe-inspiring. And
Right?
so, yes, they're great. You could
Yeah.
listen to him all day long.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, the guy who played my father in this, Mark, he's also he's been in the business a long time. So listening to the two of them, their stories, some of them overlapped and some of them didn't. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about being on sets is hearing people's stories.
Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Carla. My name is Dara. I'm from Dear Hallmark. How are you doing?
Good. How are you, Dara?
I'm doing well, thank you. So, my question for you regarding A Season to Blossom. This movie has a lot of themes in terms of spring renewal and starting anew, starting fresh. And so, I wanted to ask you if you yourself, as Carlo, could start something new, whether it's a hobby or a trade or a skill, what would be a new venture that you would go into?
If I were to start something new, what would I go into? Man, that's a good question. I think I would. I do a little bit of it, but I would like to get more into woodworking. Like if I could start building, like cabinets or tables or something, that kind of appeals to me to do something like that. Yeah, and then I would also like to. I think it's so important to do new things, and I don't always bring myself to do it. But if I could take up a new sport, I think that would be a good thing too. I think there's just something about working a part of your brain when it's something you haven't done before, and working your humility muscle too. So I don't know if I could take up like lacrosse or something. That might be dangerous, but yeah.
You'll be in good company with the woodworking with Michael Rady and Luke McFarlane. They do like furniture building and stuff like that. So that'll be cool.
Yeah,
Paul, Paul
yeah.
Campbell too.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yep.
Who's
Well,
next?
I think we're back to me. So, The locations look fantastic on screen for this movie. Did you have a favorite place that you filmed at, and kind of what scene should we be watching for that in?
Um, my favorite locations were the orchards. So we actually shot in an apple orchard. And I think it was one of those kind of you pick apple orchards where you go and you pick your own apples, and they had, I don't know how many, but at least like 8 to 10 different varieties. So each row was a different variety of apples. I mean, it was December, so the blossoms weren't quite out yet, but just being on that little farm and seeing that was really cool. And that was actually one of the days where we got the sunshine we needed um, after a lot of rain. That's right. There was there was a lot of rain at one point, and everybody had to be wearing gum boots. I remember that too. Yeah, but that was my favorite location.
Love that. Gum boots, things we don't see on screen, right?
No, well, I think you can see some gum boots in this one. Yeah.
So I was just looking, and it looks like your first Hallmark movie was Moonlight in Vermont. Is that right?
Yes, I think I'd done some Chesapeake Shores episodes before that, but yeah, that was my
Like
first
for first movie?
foray. Yeah.
Okay, so that was also a spring movie, and now you're in here like almost 10 years later. So what is different about this experience now that you're a veteran, right? Compared to the first one that you did?
Um, well, that one I didn't that like you say, it was the first one, so um I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what it was about. I didn't quite fully understand the genre. And now, yeah, almost 10 years later, oh my gosh. I kind of I know what it is, and hopefully I'm getting better at it. And I know a lot of people. So it's one of the great things about doing this is it's such a beautiful little community cast and crew. So you see the same people. Um, and yeah, that's one of my favorite parts about it. It's like, reuniting with people that you're never sure if you're going to see each other again. Hopefully you are. So when you get to, it's amazing. But yeah, that was a great experience too. And that one was, I think we were battling some very cold weather on that one too, some snow. I remember Lacey trudging through some fields of snow pretending it was spring.
Well, it was probably you had to carry her a little bit, right? Because she doesn't have very much experience in the whole genre. So you had to come
Yeah,
in and
right.
say, okay, I got this.
Yeah, yeah. She was very patient with me.
So I thought the writing really elevated this movie. I really thought it was well done. And I particularly I thought she worked in some very swoony lines. And when you all were dancing and you say, I didn't realize you felt that way about me, that was such a swoony line. And I was just curious, what's it like filming those kinds of scenes, like the dancing scene, and is it a little intimidating having to sell this like really romantic line?
That's a great word, by the way. Did you invent that word? Swoony?
Swoony. I can't claim invention of swoony, but
I don't think I've heard that before. Swoony.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's great.
It was. It really was.
Um, so what was your question? Is it hard to film
Is it intimidating at
swoony
all? Like
scenes?
knowing
Intimidating.
I got to sell this like really romantic line?
Um, Man, yeah, I guess it would be if you get in your head about it, but and depending who you're with, but Emily and I felt like we had such great chemistry and she was so easy to work with
Yeah,
that that's when it works the best when you're not thinking about the swoony line coming up. I'm gonna see how many times I
yeah.
can say swoony in this answer. So it just kind of comes naturally
Yeah,
and that swoon just sort of falls out of the moment
yeah.
is what you want, I think. Yeah.
I mean, how did you feel about the writing on this one? Did you think it was special?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was I felt like there were real people. Like I
Hmm.
felt like I could figure out a way to make Max seem real, and that the history between Elise and Max was real. Even though they hadn't seen each other in a long time, it was like there was, yeah, that weight of history, but that they brought to each other, even though they hadn't seen each other in a while. That was definitely there on the page.
You talked a little bit about your theater experience, and it's my understanding that you continue to work in theater and you also recently directed a theatrical production. How do those two things, I mean, there's kind of two levels there. Like, how does your theater work inform your on-camera work? And what was it like being in a directorial position?
I haven't done it in a while. I would like to get back to it. But how does I think uh, theater informs, well, kind of just what I was talking about. When you have a play, there's so much history, and the characters are so well rounded, hopefully, usually. Um, and you don't always get that in film and TV because, the lines are a lot quicker, scenes are quicker. Um, so I think that's something you can learn from doing theater, is that you have to really flesh out who these people are. And there's a lot that's not on the page, but that is hinted at in the writing. So that's something you can bring. I've directed a couple times, and yeah, I love it. I think I'd like to do it again. But yeah, I think the key is just to kind of what Terry does, is just to let people do what they're going to do and make them feel safe, that they can mess around and screw up, on the way to performance. Yeah, I think that's kind of the key.
Thank you.
I was wondering if you can tell us and share something about Emily that viewers may not know.
I don't know if I can. Uh, so,
Or something you learned about her in this process.
well, I'd never met Emily before. Um, I think what can I tell? I mean, I don't want to tell any of her secrets. I can't remember any of her secrets, but I think that she's just a wonderful person, and she's got a great sense of humor, and she is uh like most leading ladies in Hallmark, just a hard worker, and doesn't complain, and comes to work with a smile on her face. Um, yeah, I don't know where these women keep coming from, but yeah, there's never ever a complaint, and they just leading all the cast and crew in a positive attitude, but with humor as well. Yeah, so I would say that about Emily. Yeah, I wonder what she would say about me.
We'll ask her someday for you.
Okay.
So, Carlo, about your character, Max, he has such a resilience and determination that we see throughout the movie. He is very determined to get his cider out there to the public. And so I wanted to ask you, can you talk about an experience that you've had where your resilience and your determination paid off?
Um, Man, I guess my my career is just, yeah, being in this business, it's just you have to be so resilient and have so much faith. I've realized in yourself, like it's
Mm-hmm.
just to keep going. I mean, I'm sure that's in most walks of life, is faith is so important, but just to keep going, into the unknown, because it's all unknown. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of parallels there between that. I guess you just got to jump. And it seems to be a lesson that I don't know if other people like this, but I just have to keep learning. Like, you got to keep jumping.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you jump once and,
Mm-hmm.
oh, okay, the unknown is over. It's just like, it's a daily thing to keep, yeah, having faith and keep jumping. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
So you've done quite a few of these movies of the week, including the Wedding Veil Inspiration, which I think is your other Terry Ingram
That's
movie.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Thank you.
the Blessing Bracelet. What keeps drawing you back to this genre? What makes you want to work in this group?
Well, I think I mentioned it before. The across the board, the casts and the crew are so pleasant and so professional to work with. So every day is a joy. Um, and then the other thing is, there's a formula to these movies, but it really works, and you feel. I know when I mean, that's why you guys are all here, I'm sure. When you watch them, you feel good and you feel hopeful. And so the same thing goes for when you're working on them. It's like it's pleasant coming into work, and you're gonna make somebody feel good, but you also feel good when you're working on them. So yeah, they're just a gift.
I love that you have a good experience working too.
Yeah, and I think you have to. I mean, I'm sure the viewer would be able to tell if somebody had a miserable time because, yeah, that comes across, right?
Right, right. Thank you.
So for us Hallmark Plus viewers, this will be airing on Easter. So are there any planned Easter eggs in this? And if not, what is something in there that you can share that we should be looking for that maybe we wouldn't notice otherwise?
Oh man. Okay. I don't think there's any Easter eggs on purpose. I'm not sure if it's in there, but you just reminded me of one day on set. I can't. It's in the bookstore. Emily has this big speech. She's reading from a book, and it was on her coverage, but I think you can see. I don't know if you see the back of my head, but I had a coughing fit and I couldn't stop coughing, and it's on her coverage, and she's trying to keep it together, and I'm trying to stifle my cough, but I couldn't. So at one point, I don't know if I'm sure they edited it out, but maybe you can see it, and you can see me run out of the scene and go outside and just cough and cough and cough, and I couldn't stop coughing for like 15 minutes. And eventually, the craft service person, she was a singer, and she said whenever she has a sore throat or a cough, she melts down like 15 gummy bears and drinks it, and something about the gelatin coats your throat and so it stops you from coughing. So I had to drink, she melted them down for me. So I had to drink about 15 gummy bears. Got this insane sugar rush, but it worked. I stopped coughing, and yeah, I felt awful for Emily. So I don't know if that counts as an Easter egg or not.
No, I'll have to take a look and see if you can notice that.
Yeah, or if I come back and I'm talking like this for the rest of the scene.
Well, there is a scene in the movie where you have like a poetry reading. And so I was just curious, do you have a favorite poet or a poem that you would read if you were?
Yeah, I don't think I read poetry in it, but my dad has reads one in it. A favorite poet. I'm partial to Walt Whitman, who is actually. Oh, there's another Easter egg. Whitman is quoted in the movie. If you can see which character says it and who when. Um, yeah, I think I like Whitman, and uh, there's a poem. I can't remember the name of the poem, but there's a Pablo Neruda poem that I really like. And I can't remember what it goes. It goes. I can't remember. It's something. It starts with "I do not love you as if you were the salt rose topaz," and I can't remember the rest of it. But yeah, I had a big Neruda phase when I traveled through South America a long, long time ago, and he's a Chilean poet, and I got kind of into Neruda. He's pretty swoony.
Yeah, I bet. That sounds,
Dropping it again.
yes, I love it.
You talked a little bit about characteristics that are both on and off the page. Is there anything about the character of Max that was off the page that you brought to the role that you felt like was essential to this character in this role?
Um, I think a sense of humor is one thing I'm trying to bring to any character I do, whether it makes it to the screen or not. Yeah, I think that's so important. A sense of humor on screen and off screen to just be having fun. Um, and that, yeah, that really helped with the chemistry that Emily and I had and how easy it was to work with her. So hopefully that some of that reads. Yeah, sense of humor.
Yeah, it comes through. Max is a fun character to watch.
Oh, good.
I'm also going to say you brought some Hallmark After Dark. We had buttoning up a shirt as you're walking out. I'm there for it.
Well, that's all Terry.
and some swoon. So but I was curious just in general if you I know that you said it's part of play, it's part of writing or reading off the script and allowing the script, but what else do you do specifically to build chemistry with your co-stars? Because here we've got a father-son role that you've obviously have this history behind their story, and then of course a love interest and the fact that they had a history too. So what's something that you might do that's a little bit different or unique to you?
Well, so with the dad character, how did I think we had chemistry. I kind of bring at the beginning, I bring my own relationship to my father a little bit, and then see what the other actor fills in and what that relationship is, and hopefully they kind of blend together. But Mark was, yeah, in some ways like my father, in some ways very different. So it kind of becomes its own thing. And then chemistry with Emily or any kind of female lead, I like to if you can make them laugh for real is and find out what their funny bone is. I feel like that's just the way in. So I'm always trying to get a real laugh out of whoever I'm playing against on screen. So not a character laugh, but a real laugh, and then it'll hopefully it overlaps and it reads like the character as well. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely can see that break in the ice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Since this movie takes place in a bookstore, I wanted to ask if you have any book recommendations for us, fiction or nonfiction.
Um. Well, what do you like? I think it depends on what your genre is.
We can go fiction. Like, do you do sci-fi, fantasy, mystery, thriller?
Um, I don't do a lot of fantasy. I think I should try to get into that. What I guess what I've kind of been into recently is it's mostly nonfiction, but these stories of like people overcoming something. So it's been a lot of like athlete biographies. I just read this one about uh, a super runner who's like an ultra marathon runner who's in his mid 70s and picked it up when he was like 60.
Oh,
And
wow.
I just couldn't put that one down. I can't remember what that one's called. But yeah, I kind of like those. I'm into those recently. So like an athlete and it tends to be somebody older in life too, kind of overcoming something, and these individual athletes, that kind of story. I'm kind of drawn to that recently. Um, but yeah, it just depends, I guess. It depends on the story. I also like kind of family saga novels that go on forever, like 100 Years of Solitude, that kind of thing, where it's
Mm,
just it just yeah, there's a bunch of interweaving characters from different generations. I'm kind of drawn to those. Yeah,
cool. Thank you.
Well,
that's a
I'm
good one
going
if you
to
haven't read that, 100 Years of Solitude.
That's a great recommendation. I'll recommend Dara's book. You should read that one.
Oh, what's your book, Dara?
This isn't about me. What is
Well, let's
happening?
plug it. Let's plug it.
It's called Chasing Wind. It's a fiction book. And it's
Chasing
all,
Wind. Okay,
yeah.
what's it about?
Oh my gosh. Um,
I'm
it's
writing it
about
down.
it's about a post-grad young lady just trying to figure out life, and she gets through a certain set of circumstances that gives her the life that she wants, but she realizes, is it really the life that she wants? So,
Oh, wow. Okay.
mhm.
That sounds like could be a Hallmark series.
We're waiting for it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have a
Love you,
signed
Dara.
I have a signed copy. So on to my question. Um, So Max and Elise have this comfort from knowing each other for years, but there's something kind of fun about that vibe. Like they know each other as teenagers, and then it kind of leads to not the same understanding because you're in a different place as an adult. It looked like you guys had a little fun with that dynamic. How do you like playing off of that dynamic?
I like it. I like that coming in with all that history and like you said, yeah, you're kind of navigating like what is this relationship now? Like it was one thing, and I think with them it was, they would see each other every year for this little chunk of time. So their relationship went through so many different stages, like all relationships. Um, so that was kind of fun to navigate, like where is our relationship now and how different situations would bring out different things. Like sometimes it was swoony and sometimes it was they're friends and it's truly there for each other as friends, and sometimes that's confusing because they don't know where in between they are. Sometimes they're cheerleaders for each other or business partners. It's all these different relationships. It was kind of cool to play with those dynamics.
Yeah, it was fun to watch it kind of unfold on screen and each be like, what is this?
Yeah, exactly. What is this? And what I want this to be this, or do you want this to be this? Or, yeah, yeah.
When you were on the set of The Haunting of Sorority Row and contemplating your career, were you thinking like where you would want to go would be like rom-com leading man, or was Haunting of Sorority Row kind of the genre you thought, hey, that's me?
Uh, I can't
I admit
remember
I have
that
not
far
seen
back,
it.
but
I've not seen it yet, so
um, I, I mean, I kind of go where the wind takes me. I'm chasing wind.
chasing wind.
Um,
Yeah, my book was Breaking Wind and it didn't quite do as well as
I wonder
Dara's.
why. I wonder why. Um, but yeah, I guess what would I see myself? I don't really have a favorite genre. I like if I had my way, I would love to be um kind of doing roles that where characters have some kind of connection to nature and they take place majority of it outside and like an adventure, that kind of thing. But like I said, it's so much like something like a thriller or a murder mystery that's really intense. It takes a toll. So there's a joy working as a romantic lead. Yeah, so I'm grateful to it for it. But yeah,
Well,
I don't know if
speaking of your acting resume, you have a lot of work, both episodic and in movies. Is there a project you've done that you feel like didn't get the attention it deserves that, might would serve having a light shined on it that you wish people would check out again?
um yeah, I did. Oh, somebody got skipped. We'll get back to you.
I'm sorry, Rachel, that's my fault.
Um, I did a movie called Broken Angel a couple years ago that I think was really important. It was an Indigenous woman's story, and I think some people saw that in Canada. But it was, yeah, I think that was a really important film that I think people did see, but I think more people should see. Um, and I kind of play the bad guy in that, but it was. Uh, yeah, that was a hopeful movie and about something that doesn't always get to be seen by everybody. So yeah, I think that's the one I would pick.
So two quick little questions. Was Clover a nice cat? And also, was there any debate about you going clean shaven or having a beard? Because I was a little surprised they let you keep the beard.
There was the beard was their idea, and I was all for it. I don't like to shave. It's a pain. So yeah, I was grateful to have the beard, and we had a great hair and makeup team that, kept it the perfect length. And the cat. I didn't have a lot with the cat, but from what I remember, um, I can't remember, um, wanted to, was an adventurous cat. So we had to be very careful about keeping all the doors closed in the bookstore because they were worried that the cat was going to bolt. So I just remember that, like, okay, where's the cat? And then we had a great stand-in pretend stuff, fake cat, not stuffed. Jeez. But like, what am I trying to say?
Yeah,
Like a teddy bear.
a
That's a cat,
toy.
a stuffy, a toy. Yeah, yeah. But the cat, I think the cat was pretty popular on set. Yeah, I don't think I got to pet it.
Oh, that's
Animals and kids, they're always the most popular.
good.
I was wondering if it was one cat or if she had duplicates. You know how there's twins for children.
I think there was two, and one of them was a lot more agreeable than the other one. I think that's how it worked. Yeah, so there was a backup if one bolted, but yeah, that one was the diva or devo.
Awesome. Do you have a favorite rom-com?
Uh, favorite rom-com. I don't know. Is It's a Wonderful Life a rom-com? I
I would
feel like
not
that's
consider that a rom-com.
you would not.
No.
Okay. Um, my
Very
favorite rom-com.
inspiring like this movie though, so we'll give it to you on that.
Sorry.
It's very inspiring like this movie, so we'll give it
Right.
to you on that.
Yeah. I don't know what my favorite rom-coms. Oh, what about? Do you ever see His Girl Friday? Is that a rom-com? I kind of like that where there's like quick banter. Well, that's kind of,
Yeah, that
they have a
counts.
past,
Yeah, that's
and
rom-com.
when it's two very smart people talking very fast, and I like that with that mid-Atlantic accent too. Yeah, yeah, I'd like to do that. Maybe I'd love it. Hallmark should do a remake of His Girl Friday. That'd be great.
I I haven't seen that. I'll add it to my list.
Oh yeah, you'll love it.
But
You'll
yes,
love it.
all about the banter. The banter is such a fun thing to watch on screen, as I'm sure it is to play.
So fun. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So let's say you had a chance to meet Max, the character, before the events of the movie transpired. What advice would you give to Max?
Um, I guess just, follow your heart, your instincts, and no matter what obstacles get in your way, just stick with it and stay kind of keep the course, stay steady, and I know it looks like it's going to be hard, but it'll all work out. Yeah, just trust yourself, basically. I think that's advice I give anybody, anytime, including myself.
Hmm.
Yeah, just trust yourself.
So when you're not giving out advice, what is a great piece of advice that you've been given and why?
Great piece of advice I've been given. I think it's I've been given lots of advice, but I'm very stubborn and hard-headed, so it's like I have to hear the same thing over and over again before it permeates even a little bit, and then I still have to keep hearing it. But just simply, this too will pass. Just like that reminder that your situation that you're in today is not the situation you're in tomorrow. The thoughts you have now are not the thoughts you have tomorrow. Your thoughts don't dictate your life, and everything is moving. So just to hold things lightly, because yeah, everything's always moving and always in flux. I think that's the best piece of advice I've ever.
Yeah, this too shall pass is a
Exactly. Yeah.
great piece
Yeah.
of advice.
Yeah.
Hope you're not thinking that about this interview.
Was that the tagline for Breaking Wind?
It was.
This too
It
shall
was.
pass.
So you mentioned a little earlier that you like reading the biographies. So if they were to do a movie, a biography movie, Like you can't do this. I think you're a great actor, but I'm not sure you could pull off the 70-plus-year-old ultra marathoner. But what biography would you like to star in?
Uh, there's this book, another interesting character is called The Golden Spruce. It's a novel by John Valiant, or a nonfiction, and it's about this guy who started in the logging industry and then eventually uh, sees how clear cutting is not so great, and then he kind of yeah, disappears one day. But that's a story I've always wanted to see on film, whether I do it or not. But yeah, that again, that kind of character, that's a lot of it takes place outside. A lot of it is, communing with nature, and kind of that kind of adventure where you're learning about yourself and the world at the same time.
Okay, wait, though. You said he just disappears?
Yeah, so
Like,
it's a long
does the logging
story.
industry take him out or something? Or what do we, or he
No,
just,
he's one of these guys that can live like on an exposed beach, with a tent for like months at a time, and he kayaks into these crazy seas, and he makes this passing, um, from the mainland to this island, on a kayak, and just kind of disappears, and nobody's seen him since then.
okay.
Yeah, yeah, check it out. The Golden Spruce.
Sounds good. Well, it
A
does
lot
Well,
of
sound good that
book
he
talk today.
disappeared, but
Yeah.
I get you.
well, getting back to the swoony scenes, we have two really swoony kisses in this movie. And I'm just curious what it's like filming those scenes and how you approach it as an actor.
Uh, Good. You think so? You really think they're
Yes.
Sweeney? Okay, good.
Yes. Even the
Good.
lighting was very, like, very
That last one? Oh my
romantic.
gosh, huh?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was beautiful.
Yeah.
So what is it like approaching those scenes? I guess it can be a little nerve-wracking. You know what? A lot of it depends on the day you shoot it. Because if it's the first day, then you don't have any of that chemistry, or history with your co-star, and it could be a
Uh-huh.
little uncomfortable. But I think this one was those were later in the shoot, and I felt very comfortable with Emily, and with Terry. He's very respectful, and it's going to be tasteful but swoony. Um,
Do they like choreograph all sort of all parts of it, or they're like, you all do your thing, you're grown-ups? Or
I think, maybe it's director, but this one you do your thing.
yeah,
You're
okay.
grown ups, so we did our thing, and I'm glad to
Yeah.
hear it turned out swoony. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Very good.
To Rachel's point, we have a smoochometer on our podcast, and I think it will rank quite well for this movie.
Oh,
So
good. Oh, good. Mucho meter. So, what can I ask? What makes a kiss more swoony or less swoony, or is it?
sometimes
It's
it's
hard to
not a
describe.
nameable quality. It's
Yeah.
just you know it when you see it.
Okay.
And it's honestly you're often surprised when you see like the off the charts smoochometer moments. But if we look big picture, like rewind back to young Carlo, is this the dream? Are you living the dream, or is this not the path that you had envisioned for yourself?
Um, I don't think I had a path envisioned. Maybe I should more do that more, like envision it. But I kind of just go from one thing to the next. But I mean, there's that thing where where you are in life. Sometimes you're dissatisfied, but if you go back 10 years with that person, seeing where you are now, would it blow their mind that you are where you are? And I think that's, yeah, that would, if I could go back 10, 20 years, I think my mind would be blown that I am where I am and doing what I love, getting the chance to do that. So that's always a good thing to keep in mind. But yeah, maybe I should be more intentional about where I'm going. Yeah. I think a lot of it is a feeling you want, whether you're acting or writing or whatever, dancing or accounting. Um, we're doing it because we want a feeling, we want to commune with other people, or we want to express ourselves. And sometimes that can surprise us in the form that takes, and it can be different than what we expected. But I think that's when it comes down to it, that's the most important thing and the thing we're looking for. Yeah.
Thank you.
So of course, in Hallmark, there's a lot of emphasis on like women, I don't know, like their special weekends and girls' trips and the best friendhood right there. If we were to cast three Hallmark guys with you on a weekend in the woods, who would you cast as your co-stars?
Three more than me, or
Three
me
more than
and
you.
three? Three
We're
more
talking
than
a
me.
bromance movie. You and three other Hallmark stars in the woods.
Uh, well, I'm pretty good friends with Brendan Penny, so he'd be my number one. Um, and then uh, also pretty friendly and just a great guy, Buckley. I'd want him there too. Um, and you know what? I'm also gonna take maybe not an actor, but I'll take Terry Ingram with us as well because he's a fun time too, and yeah, he knows his way around the woods.
He also does his own cameos. So, all right,
That's true. Yeah, yeah. All right, so that counts. Okay, okay,
yes, so we'll start writing in our requests for you, Carla.
okay. He'll love that.
So, Carlo, if you were to plant an idea or a thought that could have its own season to blossom in the future for the viewers who will watch this interview, what is it you would want to say?
An idea or a thought. I think that idea of um, continual renewal and continual rebirth, some of the themes we've been talking about, is just to just stay in that place where it's never finished and you're always recreating yourself and there's always hope, and nothing is stagnant, everything keeps moving. Yeah, hopefully that's something that I would like, to live with present in my mind, and something I hope this people take from this movie as well. Yeah, that there's always a chance to start new and to start fresh and to surprise yourself.
Terry's always a legitimate choice to bring with you to a movie. He played Avery's dad in The Wedding Veil, so
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah, he actually told me that story last time when we worked together.
yep. That well, take Terry with you. But Hallmark viewers are well known for watching their favorite movies over and over and over again. What makes a season to bloom something that will have viewers watching repeatedly?
Um, I think everything we've just spoken about before, the layers and the characters and the relationship, but also the supporting cast. There's some great supporting actors in here and some great little moments throughout this, including the cat, including Clover. But yeah, so I think that is a good reason to keep watching. It's not just about the leads. I think there's some great moments between Winnie and my dad and Molly. She's an amazing actress. Amia, the woman who plays Molly, she's great. But yeah, that's a good reason to keep watching.
Yeah, the supporting cast and those storylines were just fantastic. Gave the movie a lot more depth.
Yeah, and a lot of credit to the actors for bringing them alive.
Yeah.
So the world is pretty crazy right now. And here you are, you're working at Hallmark doing a Hallmark movie, which provides us viewers a lot of escapism. Are you like just personally find that a little more rewarding than your typical movie? We all love them and we all enjoy them, but just knowing that the chaos that's going around us right now, that it is more needed than usual.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's a really good point because there is chaos in the world and there's always chaos in the world. Um, and I think it's important to keep yourself abreast of what's going on and informed. But to what point and to what end does it help to dwell in chaos or pessimism that everything's going wrong? Like what good does that do for humanity or yourself, to be in that kind of despair? So these movies like this or anything that gives you joy or levity or hope, I mean, and maybe that sounds corny, but that serves a pretty important purpose. Um, because the world is just made up of people, and if individual people have hope and joy, I mean, that's gonna permeate the chaos and the despair, hopefully, at least some. So yeah, not to get too self-important about it, but I think it is important.
Do you have any preference of Christmas or non-Christmas as far as these Hallmark movies? And do you have anything coming up you want to tease us with that you have in the works?
Do I have a preference of Christmas or not Christmas? No, I don't think I have a preference. Yeah, just a good script and a good cast is what I like. And no, nothing I think I can talk about as of yet. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay.
Do you watch your own movies? And if so, do you do it by yourself? Do you like to have a crew with you watching? What's that experience like for you?
I I yeah, for the most part I do. Um, I'll watch them usually alone, usually reluctantly, and like, with one eye. And it usually goes like this. It's like, oh, I kind of want to watch this. I didn't do a very good job. And like, okay, oh, that wasn't that bad. Oh, that was nice. That was a nice moment. And then I kind of get drawn into the story, usually. But yeah, usually I watched alone. It's too hard to watch with somebody else because then you're watching them and you're
Yeah.
looking for their reaction. Um, but yeah, but this one was, yeah, I got, like I said, it started like that, and then I kind of got sucked into the story, even though I knew what was going to happen.
Okay.
On that note, do you ever, when you're watching yourself, ever forget that it's you when you get drawn into the story?
If it's you, maybe for a little bit. Yeah, maybe a little bit, but then I remember like, oh yeah, what was going on that day, or
Mm.
oh man, why does my face look like that when I do that, or oh, I should have done that. Yeah,
Mm.
it's a lot goes into it. It's a very emotional experience.
Oh, no, I can imagine. I was an audience in this studio audience member, and I remember seeing the takes, and then it took me a while to see it differently from what I saw behind the scenes. So just as an audience member doing that, I can't imagine as an actor. So I was just
Yeah,
curious.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I was, and on, do you have a dream location that you'd like to film a Hallmark movie in?
Ooh, dream location. Maybe somewhere either hot and tropical or on a nice ski hill like Whistler or something. Yeah, two extremes.
But both good choices. Thank you.
Speaking of traveling, I want to go to Chesapeake Shores really quick because I would be remiss if I didn't mention how you and Lacey J. Maley, y'all were my favorite in that
Oh, thank
series.
you.
Just the way you complimented one another, your characters, with David being so grounded and just being like a wound up chihuahua. Like it was wonderful. And so I wanted to ask you your experience filming with her and just building that chemistry with her for that show.
Yeah, um that was wonderful. And it was over, what is it, 5 or 6 years. So it was such a gradual thing. So we
Hmm.
weren't kind of sure what that relationship was at first, and it kind of happened organically, which is the beauty of when you have that much time on a TV show and you keep coming back. So it was kind of an organic thing. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And a lot of fun for us in that show because there was times and seasons where we were dealing with a lot of serious stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but then there was a lot of times where it was like hijinks, and it felt like we were in a sitcom or something. So it was like we got to kind of play with different genres depending on what the storyline was for us. So that was really fun. Um, yeah, yeah, I could have kept doing that show.
So, do you have something, a skill or a hobby or a special interest that fans don't know about and might want to hear from you?
So skill or hobby or special interest. Well, like I said, I wanted to get more into carpentry. Um, I'm a really good bad carpenter. Oh, I'm really good at you know, um, fixing things with and stuff and houses and carpentry and stuff like that. Just not quite how you're supposed to do it. I have a friend who's a professional carpenter, but figuring out how to do it and also doing it with my own materials. Like I've gotten okay at taking down trees and cutting boards out of them and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of not a skill I'd brag about, but one that yeah people might not know.
So, you have some carpentry skills, but do you do woodworking too, like making pretty things?
I've made one like a couch that I've made that's kind of pretty. Um, but if you take it apart, maybe it's not that pretty, but it looks pretty from the outside. Yeah. So I'd like to do more of that stuff.
Perfect.
Well, Dara did a little trip down memory lane. I want to just do one last quick one too. Is Christmas with Darling is like one of the best all-time holiday movies. I think
Oh, thank
absolutely
you.
love it. So I don't really necessarily have a question other than like, do you know how good that movie was and was it like fun doing?
It was fun. Yeah, I
I mean,
wonder
Steve
why.
Basic too. Come on.
What's that?
You had
Steve
Steve
Basic?
Basic there too. So
Yeah, he's a character. That was my first time meeting him. Yeah, I wonder why that movie resonates so much with people. I think it's the kids, and again, really good actors. Um,
The
Katrina Law,
ending.
yeah, is a
I
really good
love
actor.
the ending of that movie.
Yes,
Season. So good with him in the
definitely.
road.
yes, yes. I remember that shooting that very well. Yeah, that was a hot day. Pretending to be snowy. Yeah, I think the kids make it that movie, and the great actors in it. Um, but yeah, I remember that being a lot of fun, having those kids there, and the the young boy had a lot of energy. I remember that, and Steve Basic has a lot of energy too.
We are at about time, you guys. Just to respect Carlo's time, we might wrap up with that one. But thank you guys so much for all your amazing questions. And Carlo, thank you so much for taking time to talk with everyone.
Thank you guys.
Thank you,
Yeah, thank
Carlo.
you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Hayden.
I'll be sending out the recording to everyone as well. So
Thanks,
be on the
Hayden.
lookout for
Thank you,
that.
Awesome.
Hayden.
All right.
Thank you, Hayden. Have a
Okay.
See you,
good day,
Hayden.
everyone.